In 1650, the owner of this painting ordered it burned. Not sold, not given away, burned, so that it could follow him into the afterlife. The art historian Peter Sturman records that a family member pulled the scroll back from the flames. It survived, but it did not survive intact. Damaged by the fire and later cut, it became two separate objects. Why was a landscape this quiet worth taking into death? And why did trying to destroy it make its story larger? Huang Gongwang. Dwelling in the Fuchun Mountains, completed in 1350. Start with what remains. There are two authentic fragments, and they are radically unequal. The short opening is called Remaining Mountain. It is barely more than half a meter wide and is held by the Zhejiang Provincial Museum in Hangzhou. The mountain rises almost immediately, dense with dark trees and layered strokes. Along one edge, the paper gives way to the history of its mounting. The long remainder is the Master Wuyong scroll, now in the National Palace Museum in Taipei. Its painted section runs for more than 6 meters across 6 joined sheets. Near the beginning are traces of repair. After the last mountain come Huang's inscription, later writing, and the marks of people who handled the work after him. These are not two versions of one scene. They are the separated opening and body of one travelled object. Go to the writing at the end of the long fragment. Huang put it there in 1350, and it tells us that this painting did not arrive all at once. He had returned to the Fuchun region in 1347 with his Taoist friend Wuyong. Huang laid out the design in a burst of inspiration, then left the scroll in the mountains while he travelled. When the mood and the opportunity returned, he added to it. Wet ink over dry, dark over pale, a bank, a cluster of trees, another mountain. 3 or 4 years passed, and Huang still described the work as not fully complete. He retrieved it from his luggage and promised to continue. Wuyong, he wrote, worried that someone might take it first. So Huang inscribed the end, making clear how difficult the work had been to finish. The first struggle over possession was already present before the scroll was complete. Now let the scroll move. A Chinese hand scroll was not designed to sit fully exposed on a wall. It was held close, rolled in one hand and opened with the other, so that only part of the image appeared at once. You travelled from right to left, and you controlled the time. That changes what this landscape is. It is not one window, it is a sequence. A low riverbank gives way to open water. Rounded hills thicken into ridges. Empty paper becomes distance. Buildings, boats, and small figures appear briefly, then pass out of sight as another section opens. Peter Sturman writes that the varied brushwork produces the sensation of an actual journey. The geography helps. Later study along the Fuchun River found stretches of scenery that seem to stand behind parts of the scroll. But resemblance is only the beginning. If this was simply a map, the brush would be a transparent tool. Here, the brush is one of the places you travel through. Look at the first mountain. The dark strokes do not fill a clean outline. They gather, loosen, and overlap. Some are dry enough to break against the paper, others spread into soft washes. Black trees sit against pale slopes, and a few dense marks can pull a whole ridge towards you. Move farther along, and the language changes. Rounded masses settle into low banks. Parallel strokes describe a slope, then dissolve before they become a fixed formula. Dark ink lies over light ink, dry lies over wet. The same few materials keep producing new distances. Huang wrote that the urgent thing in painting was li, principle, or natural order. Here, that does not mean a code hidden behind every tree. It is visible in the way forms answer one another. Brushstrokes become textures, textures become rhythms. Rhythms make a landscape that seems to breathe as it unfolds. The Fuchun River gave Huang real ground. He did not copy that ground as a continuous photograph. He reorganized it into an internal geography, and then ended with a mountain that rises abruptly before his inscription. The scroll can look plain from a distance. Up close, plainness is the disguise. Now look at everything Huang did not paint. The seals, the colophons, the copies, the extra paper attached before and after the landscape. The painter Shenzhou once owned the scroll. So did Dong Qichan, the powerful 17th century artist and connoisseur who kept it for decades. Dong treated Huang as a central ancestor of the tradition. Looking at one of Huang's landscapes, he wrote, "My teacher, my teacher." Copying was not automatically a deception. It could be study, homage, and argument. Artists learned the movements of an old brush by repeating them, then carried those movements into new paintings. Owners and viewers added words and seals that recorded admiration, possession, and judgment. The short, fire-damaged opening shows this accumulation most dramatically. The surviving painted fragment is about 50 centimeters long. Its later mounting grew into many meters of title, inscriptions, and an imaginary portrait of Huang. The portrait is not a record of his face. It is evidence of what later viewers wanted the fragment to become. Every hand preserved something. Every hand also changed the object being preserved. Leave the authentic scroll for a moment. In 1745, the Qianlong Emperor acquired another dwelling in the Fuchun Mountains, now called the Ziming Scroll. He believed it was Huang's original. The following year, the Master Wuyong scroll entered his collection. Qianlong compared the two and made his decision. Ziming was genuine, Wuyong was the imitation. Modern study reverses him. The National Palace Museum now identifies Ziming as an imitation and Master Wuyong as the authentic work completed in 1350. Do not turn this into a story about an emperor knowingly defending a mistake. The record does not give us that motive. What it gives us is stranger. Immense authority, genuine attention, two objects side by side, and the wrong answer. Now return to Huang's ink. It has survived fire, cutting, and separation. But authenticity is not something even an emperor can see merely by deciding to see it. So what makes this a masterpiece? The easy answer is the brush, and the brush matters. Follow its changes and the 6 meters never settle into repetition. The landscape keeps transforming while remaining unmistakably one journey. But the historian Richard Vinograd gives a larger answer. A canon forms through the reputation of the artist, the prestige of owners, the authority of inscribers and commentators, and the circulation of originals, copies, and reproductions. Modern scholarship, exhibitions, and books continue the same work. That does not mean the scroll is famous only because important people said so. It means that material achievement and historical attention cannot be cleanly separated. The ink earns another look. A friend protects it. An artist copies it. An owner carries it. A mistaken emperor argues over it. A museum photographs it. Each action determines which object reaches the next viewer. The man who ordered the fire wanted the relationship to end with him. Instead, his failed command became one more part of the chain, and the chain eventually brought the two originals into the same room. In 2011, 361 years after the fire, the two surviving fragments were shown together in Taipei. They were not repaired. They were not permanently joined. Sturman's precise phrase is better. The two sections were brought into close proximity. The short opening had already become a separate scroll with its own long mounting and history. No scene could simply erase that. So look at the fragments together, then let them part again. Huang's painting survives as ink, paper, loss, repair, writing, copies, argument and memory. It is less whole than the object he made, and larger than the object any one owner could hold. One man tried to take it with him into death. A relative saved the scroll from the fire and refused him the final word. That may be the quiet lesson in this quiet landscape. Possession ends, the looking does not.